All right, Al. This is a interesting topic. I believe you and I are on opposite ends when it comes to this topic.
Do you want to tell the listeners what the official title of the topic is?
I didn't know that we had an official title. What is it?
The Matthew Stafford Super Bowl Conundrum.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that actually is a really good topic. Topic title.
I'm so excited!
Do you want to explain your side first, or do you want me to go?
I think I can explain them both.
Okay.
And we'll kind of just say which one we feel like we more so align with.
Yeah.
Or if there's elements of both that you align with, where you're at with it.
Okay.
So side A. Side A is obviously Matthew Stafford played here for 11 years.
10 or 11, yeah.
And he is now in the Super Bowl with the LA Rams in his first year. Stafford was the best quarterback in Lions history. Great Detroit guy for his whole career. On a lot of lovable loser teams, he was a highlight, and his whole career in Detroit was pretty good. Yeah. So side A would be that you want Stafford to win.
Yes.
Because you feel good for him. He deserves it. He's been through a bunch of crap with the Lions, and as a former Lions player, Lions great, you want to see him win a ring.
Yep.
Side B, option B, is that you are a Detroit Lions fan first and foremost, and you don't give a damn about Matthew Stafford being in the Rams, and you want one better draft pick, one spot above 32, because you're that big of a hardcore Lions fan. Also, you might be a little scared that if Matthew Stafford does get a ring, win a Super Bowl, the media shitstorm that will fall upon the Lions fandom will be unbearable for the next year plus, if not much longer, because they ruined him his whole time he was here.
Yes, I do want to tweak one thing. The shitstorm that lands on the Lions organization.
Well, the fans are kind of a byproduct of it, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's your
it's
team.
a byproduct, but it's going to be pointed at the Lions organization.
Right. But, if that's your team, then you're going to – I just – like, not that they don't deserve it, but that it's going to just be nonstop. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lot of people shitting on the Lions for a long time if this happens. So, based on those two options, I guess – two sides to this coin, is there one that you 100% fall on, or are you kind of like in the middle on it, or what do you think?
I'll start out with side B. At this point, I feel like after he won the second one, the whole draft pick scenario just shouldn't matter at this point, because we're getting either pick 28, 29, 30, or I'm sorry, 32, 31, 30, or 29.
That's in the championship round.
Yes. So in this past game, I feel like at that point, I feel like you should root for him. I don't know. So the other side would be side B is, the shitstorm media conundrum where, it's going to look very bad on the Lions if he does go on to win a Super Bowl. That I understand. Draft pick scenario, I feel like that goes out the window. Because there can't be a whole lot of difference between 32, 31, 30, or 29.
Yeah, but even so, one pick higher for what it is a better spot to be in than one pick back. I know this is a very
I feel like it was understandable.
It's a stretch, I understand, but
when they were possibly getting in the 22 to 24 range, I was like, okay. If he
they
goes
got
out
in a wild card, or they didn't make the wild card,
then I'm like, cool. It sucks for him, but it's good for the Lions. So
you're saying the ship has sailed on the draft stock meaning much of anything,
especially now because we're getting 31 or 32.
Right? Yeah. Now it's lower priority than than it's ever been. Yeah. No doubt.
I'm 100% side A. I feel like, and yes, we will get a shitstorm rain down on Detroit for arguably ruining this guy's career when he was in his prime. but at the same time, it's going to feel great to see him win a Super Bowl after you think about how many years of national media just talking this guy down about how bad he is and how he can't win anything in Detroit. All the Detroit Lions fans that were trying to run him out of town.
That was that's a storyline we very rarely talk about, if at all. Is that there were a couple of years where we were like, all right, we're done. We're done with the Matthew Stafford experience. Trade him and draft somebody.
Yeah,
that was a real storyline that happened for quite a few seasons.
And for him to turn around and go on and win a Super Bowl, it's like it to me, as a Detroit Lions fan, it's a phenomenal middle finger to the national media, who everybody knows I hate the national media,
especially
ESPN. So it's it sucks that now the national media gets to put him on the pedestal, but it's so relieving to me that finally somebody's doing it, because he's finally getting the respect that he deserves.
So you're obviously rooting for him just as a guy, and as a guy who was here for 11 years and everything he did, he deserves this.
The other side, I feel like I can root for him, and I see a couple people on Twitter that just have the worst takes in the world, saying that he left the Lions, he abandoned the Lions.
Oh, stop!
Like that is the worst thing that you can say, because he put blood, sweat, and tears into the organization for 11 years.
There was probably at his house after a season was over, there was probably a couple of years before the one he got traded where he was like, maybe it's time for me to get out of here.
Yeah.
But he loved Detroit, and he
kept coming back.
He stuck by it. No doubt.
He played through countless injuries. He never got dealt a good hand with this team.
And you cannot blame him for the timing he picked to be like, I'm out. I mean, we talk about it all the time in our Lions discussions, how much this franchise was ruined by Bob Quinn and Patricia.
Oh,
and
they set us back years.
This thing was not going to be an overnight 1 year rebuild. Like, this thing is going to take a couple years to get up and running again. And no, I don't blame him at all for wanting to get out.
Yeah.
Do you have any other points on your selection of your view on this? Because I definitely want to get into mine a little bit.
Yeah, no, go right ahead. I feel like that's my whole thing.
I think, I can't come on here and say side B, fuck them. Like obviously, I can't.
Yeah,
because of a lot of the reasons you're saying. Because like I do appreciate all the work he put in here, and the stuff he did do for our team. And he is a cool dude. He's a nice guy from what I've seen.
He's a very nice guy,
and he means a lot to Detroit, no doubt. So I'm fine with people if they want to root for him. But that being said, I do align more with side B, where I don't really care / like if would lean on the side of losing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would say that you're not actively rooting for him.
Yeah, I'm just you know what, man, for me it was the game where they played the Lions, and there was that first scoring drive he had where he threw a touchdown to Cooper Kupp. He scored on the Lions, and there was that weird feeling where he scored on the Lions. And then since the snap after that touchdown pass, I've just kind of been over it. I've just been like, he's the Rams quarterback now. He's not a Detroit Lion anymore. And like, he's there now. This is his team. Like, we're the Lions. We're a separate thing now. And like, I don't know, just emotionally, I kind of just became pretty uninvested at that point. And I totally agree with what you're saying with like the draft stuff, because like, 31-32. I mean,
who cares?
Yeah, it's not much of a difference. And you can make an argument for being one, but it's not.
Yeah.
So that's not really a factor anymore. For me, it's more so like the media already this year treated, the storyline of him leaving Detroit like Detroit was like a third world country compared to LA.
Yeah.
Like I'm loathing that angle of it big time. Is that the Detroit Lions are going to continue to get dunked on because we haven't been through enough.
Yeah.
But kind of deserve it. Because
that's my other thing. Yeah.
We are where we are because the Fords have been incompetent and a terribly run organization. Like, they're here for a reason, and we had 11 seasons to get this thing right with him, and
got close a couple times.
There's no excuses for the franchise not getting more out of it. I mean, there's just none. No. So I get the criticisms. I'm just saying, as a fan, it's going to suck to sit through, especially as we probably go out next year and have another 5-6 win season at most. I think so. And this thing is, I mean, who knows? Maybe we take a step back for some reason, and you never know. I
feel like it's going to be tough to take a step back after this past season, but
you can always pick number one.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It's more likely than not this thing is going to end in the whole thing being torn down again. That's just history.
It is itself. History. Yep. No, that's fair to say.
So it's not going to be very fun if Stafford wins the Super Bowl for Lions fans. I think people will be happy for him, but it's still going to be the Lions are a shitty team and they don't have a lot going for them. And your best player in franchise history, arguably, is now going winning championships with other teams.
This is I brought this question up. Or I guess it's a question, but it's more of like a what if. One of the greatest what ifs in history will happen if Stafford does win this Super Bowl. People will always ask, what if Calvin or Barry got off the team when they could have?
Yeah, and that's a conversation that I don't particularly want to talk about because it makes me depressed. You know what I mean?
Obviously, as a Lions fan, you don't want people to say that. But
if we're talking the Jets, and the Jets had some great players that got dogged, and what if? I don't give a shit. It's the Jets, I don't care about that. But
fuck them.
When it's your team that you literally go to all their games and talk about them on a podcast every week, it's oh yeah, I really want to revisit the fact that we've wasted all of our great players, and I'm a fan of this terrible franchise.
Yeah.
It's just peak Lions depression if he wins, and that's what I am more so not looking forward to. But if he wins, I mean, I'm not going to be pissed. I'm not going to be angry, but it's it's not great the way it goes for me.
Yeah, it's so funny. We are truly, I feel like a majority of Lions fans right now. Between our two sides, I feel like a lot of Lions fans can cheer for him because he was a Lion. But a lot of Lions fans also don't cheer for him because he's no longer a Lion.
Well, there's also a sect of Lions fans that we definitely don't align with where, there was the Stafford hate train for a long time here. There was Stat Pafford, that he was just a guy who
it is amazing.
Never going to win anything.
You got to agree with this. It is incredible to dunk on those motherfuckers now.
Really? Yeah.
People who said, "Oh, you can't win a big game." I was on a work call once, and I was talking to this guy, and he lives out in LA, and I was like, "Oh, I mean, you got to be excited, happy for Stafford to get out there." And he's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, he never did it with you guys." And I'm like, "Well, you don't watch football clearly, because it wasn't his fault, and that is now 1,000% factual."
But you know what? I mean, yes, but he's also not. He's not burning the building down, playing that good. He's playing good, and he's had some clutch plays, and he's been helping them get to where they're at. But we talked about it in the recap of this game, and there's been a couple weeks throughout this season where he's had problems. He has not been perfect.
No, absolutely.
I mean, he's done as much as on paper you'd want him as a Rams fan to do this year. He got you to the big game. Now you're here. You have a shot. You're probably going to win because the Bengals are a huge underdog. And we'll get into that all next week, but it's the odds are definitely in your favor.
Yeah. I think, he hasn't been perfect. And this past game, it wasn't anything, out of, it wasn't no Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady type game where he throws. I mean, he threw for 300 yards, but he also threw the ball, I think, maybe 45 times or something like that. But before this, he was having a very, very stellar postseason. And I feel like that is where it comes into play that, you can officially say that he was not the problem in Detroit. And it's because, everybody's saying he can't win the big game. Well, now he's proving it, and he's proving it by him being, the guy.
But he also, to play devil's advocate, he also does have Cooper Kupp, OBJ, a pretty good defense. We've seen some problems, but he's got some stars on defense. Aaron Donald's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe the greatest defensive player to ever play football. On the other side, I mean, he's got a lot of help,
and that's why he's going to Super Bowl.
Yeah, he never ever had that in Detroit. I mean, he had a time where he had Calvin and Sue, and Sue was like a wrecking ball. But I mean, even Sue's prime best days were not even close to Aaron Donald. I mean, let's not even start that. But
yeah, and I mean, again, to bring this back up, but Stafford does have a ton of help. Jimmy Garoppolo also has a ton of help.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo has one of the best defenses in the NFL. He has one of the best linebacking cores, one of the best defensive lines. He has solid corners and safeties all around on the defense. He's got one of the best Swiss Army knives that the NFL has ever seen. He has Brandon Ayuk. He's got solid running backs. He's got one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
And a great coach.
And a great coach that knows how to scheme offenses. He had a 6-0 record against the Rams. Fourth quarter comes around. What does he do? Tucks his tail between his legs and throws a pick.
Geez, maybe if Stafford was on this team, wouldn't even been close.
Maybe. Because, I mean, like, the 49ers defense is 100% better than the Rams defense. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I think on the offensive side, I think the Rams probably have a little bit of better weapons. But, like, how many times George Kittle wasn't an impact in that game?
Yeah, I mean, well, he wasn't
caught a touchdown, but
he wasn't like a Travis Kelce level impact in that game.
I mean, and that's the type of impact George Kittle should be.
Right.
Like, he's proven that he can play on that level. And you see Stafford turning Tyler Higbee into, his best career, his best year of his career. Cooper Kupp has the Triple Crown. He's having a sensational season. Jared Goff never had that with, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, right.
So OBJ's whole career is revitalized.
Yeah, he's people are giving him his flowers nonstop
on
social media. Yeah.
So I mean, like, there's everything pointing to signs of that Stafford is, in fact, a good, possibly great quarterback.
I'll just end it on this. I might have already said it. I don't know. But I am totally fine with however anyone wants to handle the situation. I have
I see both sides of the coin.
Dislike for any way you look at it, because I think this is a complicated issue, like for a Lions fan, because there's so many different like ways to look at it. But I think the majority of people, especially if they win, I think we'll see a lot of love and praise and good for you, Stafford. I don't know if that'll happen after the Super Bowl, if they were in another one or anything like that. I don't think it's going to happen again. But like, I think right now, the Super Bowl, after the 11-year career he had in Detroit, I think you're going to see a lot of people be on his side and be rooting for the Rams this weekend.
I think so too. Here's my. I'll leave it with my last statement and one question for you. If the Rams do win the Super Bowl this year, I will not be upset at seeing a downfall next year. Would not be upset about that.
You're saying so if they came out next year and got bounced in the
5-12.
Well, come on. I
mean, it's not going to happen. But if that was to happen, I wouldn't be upset.
I don't know how you can be. I mean, the Super Bowl's pretty sweet.
Exactly. Second question, and maybe we'll leave it off on this. If Stafford wins the Super Bowl, is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has enough years left in the league potentially where if he played 4 more, he start breaking some pretty significant records. He's already broken a couple records, and like he's already a pretty darn good player statistically. So I mean, win-loss maybe not, but yeah, if he gets
he does 5 years at the Rams, he's probably going to have a positive win record.
If he wins one and he has a nice the rest of his career with LA or wherever, I think you could make an argument for him being a Hall of Famer.
I think if he wins, he gets in.
Just right now? Like, I mean, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he has the 5 good years with the Rams. But if he wins this one, I think it's going to be solidified.
So if he wins the one with the Rams and then he's just an average, solid top 15 quarterback for the rest of his career, you think that he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
Solid top 10.
he's got to be like having good numbers. Maybe not another
Yeah.
Super Bowl win, but like good numbers, a lot of passing yards, a lot of touchdowns.
Which, I mean, he will.
Because that's just that's how he plays. But you know what, man, he's also, I think he's 33 at this point, and he's also had a good amount of injuries.
A lot of injuries.
I think just to get here was the mission.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it becomes anything past this.
Who knows? Maybe he won't even go another 5 years.
He's not. To me, he doesn't seem like the Tom Brady Rodgers type who's I need to just like burn the whole thing down and crush everybody and keep winning. Like, I think if he gets one, he'll be fine.
Yeah, you look at Rodgers and Brady. I mean, they've had one major injury in their career each. Stafford's had countless injuries. I feel like there was one other thing that I was going to say, but now I can't remember it. Nope, we'll leave it at that.
Wait, I got one more thing.
Okay.
Stafford for Super Bowl MVP? ?
Yeah, 100%.
Quarterbacks usually are favored, and he's on the winning team. I think him and Burrow probably the favorites.
Probably. I think Cooper Kupp's probably after that.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. All right, well, let's close the show out. That was a great discussion now.
Loved it. That's good.
Hey, in case you guys were wondering, this is how civilized discussions happen.
Yeah, we can both disagree.
Yeah.
And agree.
Yeah.